Hello, everyone. Get comfortable. I'm Oracle Unicorn, and welcome to Strong Messages. This is your weekly reading for Virgo. Okay. Um. So please keep in mind this is a general reading. Um. Be sure to check your Sun, Moon, and Venus signs, as my videos do cross connect with each other. So there may be some messages in this video and some messages in other videos that will be able to help you cross connect certain scenarios and situations and messages that it may or may not apply to. All right. So, what messages do we have for our dear Virgos? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Subscribing greatly helps the channel. And once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to go live on my phone, and that'll fix more of this lighting thing that I'm having trouble with. So, Virgo. Virgo. Okay, Virgo. Virgo. Some messages for Virgo, please. Okay, so it's time for a deep dive, Virgo. And to know you can overcome any obstacle. And being able to take a bird's eye view when it comes to seeing the bigger picture and being able to create your smaller details to bring in your bigger aspect of pure potential you have. And that sometimes life stings, but it helps you to make a stand and to co-create with the messages that you're receiving emotionally, mental downloads. Patience is great, okay, when Virgo, especially when it comes to the cycles of time and scenarios that you may be going through. But also within those scenarios, there is little directions, messages, and hints into your most emotional fulfilling direction that brings harmony and a lot of inward home at peace with yourself within, being able to look past the deception of that you can't do this because you can't do that, because there are certain things hidden to where it's like it's like a self-deception awareness that is being pulled apart, which is asking you to take a deep dive into it, especially with having the koi fish and it being of emotional value and thought processes, because you do have the canary spirit and singing your own song. So also being able to really stay, I did say at home with yourself, which is the essence of peace, but being able to like flow with it. how do I put this into words? So being able to be and see and put minor actions and specific reactions in a more useful direction that pushes your stimulation of mental transformation from the old, the way you used to project and perceive things, is shifting. Okay? And it's shifting to being something extremely beautiful, more beautiful than you thought it would have happened. Okay? Um, which is actually killing the heightened aspect of gossip. And that's making some kind of decision wishy-washy, but you're seeing the clues and keys into the messages that you're receiving from your guides and your spirit animals, the strength and depth and the communication you're getting when it comes to the direction that you are playing within yourself to bring a realization with yourself, okay? Um, and to believe in yourself with it, that you are not going crazy, you're not, seeing things in a imaginary vision that'll never come true. Yes, to have some caution, and don't allow your imaginary fears to hold you back and to hold your heart back. And it's like you have this change of viewpoint in a specific beginning, and bringing in receptivity of principles, kind of nurturing and growing a little plant of principle with your own personal boundaries, okay? Um, that you thought would be, because you have the inner shadows and growth. That's where I feel the energy of this one is: inner shadows and growth of your belief in yourself that you can acquire something that seems too good to become real. Like it's like a wish on a star. Is that perspective of it. Believe in yourself that you have the strength and the depth to be able to lay a foundation into that direction of that path and becoming one with it. Okay. Wow, that was a mouthful, Virgo. And be fearless. Be fearless and bold towards what you know in your heart you're being pushed towards. Because you do have the badger spirit. And to sing your own song. Don't feel subconscious about how different you may be. I mean, oh my gosh, how hard that is for me, especially when it comes to, obviously, my background. And my own different uniqueness and really bringing it to the table with myself. It's been a year since I've been waiting to be able to go live. It's been one of those roads. I think I started this maybe almost a year and a half ago. So I was just like, I had to go through so many trials and obstacles and jump over them or somehow go around them or figure out like how to overcome it and overcome it in patience that it will be overcome. It will be presented to me how to overcome it in that right timing for you to present the aspect of yourself that you're really wanting to solidify. Not even just, not just like think and try and practice doing it, but It's solidifying it and bringing it into a practice itself in your daily activities. So I find that very interesting. And so we'll get some energies of the moon cards. What kind of messages do we have for our dear Virgos? And my music decided to stop. Oh, that's another thing I forgot to put in my intro video. Roles can be vice versa, and the energies can talk about our love life, friend. No, I think I did that one, especially when it came to life, if I brought out new aspects and perspectives of love within the cards. So be well aware of that if it really hits home with you, to see it in a perspective of a projection of love in your situation. I'm glad Mercury retrograde is over. I don't know that I'd be able to word some of this in such a way. Oh my goodness. Huh. Okay, so Virgo. Let's see what we got for you. You got two aspects of Scorpio. I haven't done a Scorpio reading in some time, so if you have Scorpio in your chart, whenever I do Scorpio, then I get through my other readings. So I'm not quite sure when I'll get Scorpio up. But you do have a lot of scorpionic energy going on here, okay? So if you have Scorpio in your chart, maybe cross-connecting this video with Scorpio when Scorpio comes out, that'll probably help you. Or you are dealing with an energy of a Scorpio. Or working through the energy of Scorpio, okay? Because this one, as your overall energy, work through your fears and your commitment, I feel, within yourself, and your confidence inside of yourself is your key to success in the direction that you are really seeing beauty out of within yourself. Like, you see yourself do it in a third person eyes, and you find it the most beautiful thing in the world, and that no matter what negativity is projected upon it, it's what brings home to you. And so accepting and understanding the differences in people, the differences in connections, and how something that is so different in things that you're able to do kind of can add and bring together a harmonized collaboration in something someone else is able to do. You have show the world the real you, which is right over believe in yourself, because I feel that there's an area of stagnation that nothing will come out of that situation, but you are breaking through into being able to see how to overcome that obstacle, okay? And that detours happen. Maybe it felt like you are getting pulled further away from what it is you're really wanting to bring into fruition for yourself, but to know the spirits and the universe are bringing you into a detour to get a specific like gemstone or crystal to help you when it comes to bringing more of an essence to a table, more of a gift of a level to the table for the journey, the next few steps of the journey. It's almost like a video game in my sense, the way I see it. It's like going down this door that's hidden to be able to get some kind of sword, to be able to go fight some boss. It's like and expect powerful changeover. Basically, you would have been able to defeat that boss without that sword. So you had to go through this detour to get this sword just to go defeat this boss, because if you didn't go and do this, you're not defeating that boss. That boss is going to keep kicking your butt over and over and over again, right? Okay, so that is what I see being outlined here, basically. and to not worry too much on the aspect that nothing within this puzzle part, it may be missing a piece, but to not to worry about it, that you can't find that piece yet, because it's helping you to understand a different aspect into something, and leading you into finding the piece where you thought it would never be, and you never would have found that piece if it wasn't for this detour. Like it fell into the corner of like the living room or something, and you're like, how the hell did we get all the way over there? So to not worry too much on that energy, especially when that energy is presented for a lot of people who are a lot of tarot readers, and they say, "Oh, you have to do something," and that makes me feel anxiety filled, and I'm like, "Okay, let's go to a calm one," just like, and to not let your pride get in the way, and not be kind of like on your high horse about like seeing things in this kind of way, and kind of being too like over self-righteous kind of in a play, like that's like the area of way that I can paint a picture of it, because of a detour that I took, and kind of wanted to understand the lessons and uh, the belief of Christianity, and how sometimes the new Christians kind of have like a self-righteousness kind of thing, because of learning that not in a mean way, just learning that you want to save as many souls as possible, and so they kind of push a little more, just to be like, oh yeah, that's another soul I saved, time for another one, it's kind of like that. And it's easily fell into. I used to do it whenever I walked down that direction. I used to be a maid person that did it, and so I can understand the healing projection of that, and how the promise of that wisdom is there for you, and how it has helped you to be able to pull yourself out of some kind of like feeling as if you can't take a stand on something, and it stings. It's almost stinging you more than it would have stung the situation, especially with having this lost spirit here, that it says sometimes life stings, but I put at the top of it like sometimes life makes you take a stand, because usually that's what happens when something happens, and you're just like, what happened? Like, I just felt like I got stung by a wasp and it stings, and then it's like, yeah, because it's having you like, hey, take a stand, like that's a part of one of your boundaries that's kind of being crossed or played into. So it not being too prideful as into specifically tell people what to do in that, and trying to explain a boundary kind of thing, but it's taking a stand as in a way of, instead of overly expressing, but being like, that's crossing a boundary of mine. I'm not very comfortable with that. Instead of like a self kind of like healing, righteous kind of way. Okay, yeah. I think I'm trying to. I'm almost digging myself into a little bit of a hole here. All right. So, any other things? I'll pull out these. I made these little things. I really like them, and to have trust and belief in what you can do and bring in, because you will, and you are able to see how to be able to get into that direction, but it does take into understanding of time when it comes to some kind of detour, because it's like you want to go that way, but it's like the universe and life just pushes you into like around the bush kind of way about it. So okay, possibly dealing with an unrequited love, an ego death about it, and understanding of loyalty and understanding differences and acceptance within that loyalty, feel more of yourself, loyalty within yourself, that it's actually asking to be directed to be of loyalty with yourself. Spirits of the animals are leading you and helping you into this direction, and know that your kids are protected into this direction. And you have the goddess of horses spirit. Bella's writer. Sarah is the goddess of horses and of their ancestral homeland, north of north, wise and loving. She watches over all horses, granting each a magical gift. Sarah and Bella have waited more than 1,000 years. Excuse me. More than 1,000 years for Ziga's heir to come to north of north.
Dad,
Now that Emma is here, they're celebrating by throwing a grand ball. I feel like you're like on a chariot towards that, like a celebration of some sort, and even a celebration within your own essence of yourself of some sort. Especially, I think you're coming into a realization of a specific kind of ego death happening that's bringing you more loyalty within yourself. And knowing that you actually can do it, knowing in yourself you actually can do it and overcome this obstacle. And it's a very big, deep dive into it emotionally, but bring these ideas to life because it is your most fulfilling direction, and not to get too tied up into the gossip behind things, and to work through your fears and really wanting to pull in the truth of the matter. All right, Virgos, I think that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share on social media. That would greatly help. Once I hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be able to go on my phone and go live. Yeah. And not use someone else's computer. So, all right. And I will be probably. The next reading I will be doing is Pisces. Oh, Pisces is always fun. So, yeah, the next one I'll be doing is Pisces. I hope you have a wonderful day, and goodbye. Oracle Unicorn out.